Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Collins wins to set up Montreal clash with Gauff. Danielle Collins set up an All-American second round at the Omnium Banque Nationale against number 1 seed Coco Gauff by beating Victoria Tomova in straight sets. Danielle Collins wins to set up Montreal clash with Coco Gauff, a battle of fire and ice. The courts of Montreal buzzed with anticipation, not just because of the string of top-tier matches unfolding at the National Bank Open, but because one particular result has set the stage for a clash that promises fireworks. Danielle Collins versus Coco Gauff. The heat shimmered off the hard courts as Danielle Collins walked off victorious, her fierce eyes scanning the stands that had roared with approval. She had just dispatched a tenacious opponent in straight sets, 7-5, 6-3. in a match that showcased the grit and controlled aggression that has become her signature. For Collins, every match feels like a battle, every point a mission. And with this win, she has earned a showdown that tennis fans have been salivating over. A duel with America's rising queen, Coco Gauff. The ascent of Danielle Collins, a firestorm on court. Danielle Collins has never been one to tiptoe through the WTA Tour. Her journey, marked by collegiate dominance and a late bloom into the top echelons of pro tennis, has been nothing short of defiant. Injuries, setbacks, and fierce competition have tried to dim her flame, but Collins, ever the fighter, has surged with renewed force this season. In Montreal, her first match was more than a win, it was a statement. Up against a seasoned competitor who matched her in shot-making and determination, Collins leaned into her trademark game: explosive forehands, ruthless baseline rallies, and a no-nonsense attitude that sometimes rattles opponents before the first serve is even struck. With every clenched fist and primal scream, she declared her intent. And that intent is clear. She's not just here to compete. She's here to conquer. Enter Coco Gauff, the Ice Queen rising. On the other side of the net awaits Coco Gauff, graceful, poised, and impossibly composed for a 20-year-old who has already carved out a space among the tennis elite. A U.S. Open champion, a doubles phenom, and a fan favorite across continents, Gauff's game is a symphony of speed, power, and tactical brilliance. Gauff arrived in Montreal not just with momentum but with purpose. Having weathered early season inconsistencies, she's found her rhythm on the hard courts, the surface that has historically brought out the best in her. The young phenom has spoken openly about how much she's grown mentally, how she's tuned out the noise and focused on her development. This week, she's been all business. In press conferences, her words have been precise. On court, her movement is sharp, her backhand blistering, and her serve, once a vulnerability, now a weapon. But beneath the calm demeanor lies a player as hungry as ever. And she knows what Collins brings. Clash of styles. Fire versus ice. This upcoming match isn't just a battle between two talented players, it's a study in contrast. Collins plays like she's trying to tear a hole in the tennis universe. Every point is an emotional journey, a test of endurance and fire. She thrives in chaos, in intensity, in pushing herself to the very brink and dragging her opponent there with her. Gauff, in contrast, is a master of calculated aggression. Her game is polished, her footwork immaculate, her shot selection thoughtful. But don't mistake her calm for softness. She's capable of flipping the switch and going full throttle when the moment demands it. This match will pit Collins' raw, emotional power against Gauff's composed resilience. One seeks to overwhelm, the other to outlast. A personal edge. What adds spice to this match is the personal undercurrent. Though there's no bad blood, there's undeniable tension. Collins, who announced earlier this season that 2025 might be her final year on tour, has been playing like someone with nothing to lose. She's attacked every opportunity with ferocity, determined to leave no regrets. Gauff, meanwhile, carries the expectations of a nation. She's the face of the next generation in American tennis, and she knows that every marquee matchup is another step in cementing her legacy. They've crossed paths before, sparring partners in press headlines and locker room banter. But in Montreal, the stakes are higher. This isn't just about moving on to the next round. This is about pride, legacy, dominance. Montreal, the perfect arena. Montreal has a magic to it. The cool breeze off the St. Lawrence River, the vibrant mosaic of French and English culture, the history of great tennis moments echoing through the stadiums. And now, the city plays host to a match that could easily headline a Grand Slam quarterfinal. Tickets sold out within hours of the schedule being released. Fans are camping outside for a glimpse of this anticipated duel. Commentators are already crafting narratives. Headlines read, Firestorm Collins meets Ice Cool Gauff. For Canadian fans, it's more than just a match. It's a celebration of elite tennis, of American women dominating the global stage, of narratives clashing like thunderclouds in the sky. What's at stake? Beyond ranking points and prize money, this match has far-reaching implications. For Collins, a win over Gauff could be a catalyst for a deep run in Montreal, maybe even a last hurrah before retirement looms. It could also serve as a reminder to everyone, write off Danielle Collins at your peril. For Gauff, the stakes are different. She's defending her rising status, fending off challengers from every direction. A win here solidifies her place as a favorite for the U.S. Open and proves that she can neutralize even the fiercest storms. There's also something poetic about this potential changing of the guard. Collins, the warrior entering the final chapters of her career, against Gauff, the prodigy stepping into full bloom. Voices from the arena, players, pundits, and fans are already weighing in. Pam Shriver tweeted, "This is the kind of match that reminds you why you love tennis. Collins brings the heat. Gauff brings the cool. Who wins? The fans." Martina Navratilova, always sharp in her analysis, told Tennis Channel, "It's going to come down to whether Gauff can absorb the pressure Collins applies. Danielle's playing with urgency, and that makes her dangerous." Even Serena Williams, though retired, posted a cryptic Instagram story with just one word: popcorn. The prediction game. It's almost impossible to call. Collins has the experience and the momentum. Gauff has the athleticism and the strategic mind. If it goes the distance, expect fireworks late into the night. Collins might come out swinging, seeking to disrupt Coco's rhythm and impose her game. Gauff, ever adaptable, will try to weather the early storm and stretch the match to test Collins' stamina. Either way, this match won't be short on drama. A match to remember. When the sun sets over Montreal and the lights flicker on above the court, the stage will be set. Two women, two styles, one unforgettable showdown. In the heart of Montreal, where French charm meets North American grit, the summer heat was nothing compared to the fire Danielle Collins brought to the court. With her trademark intensity, clenched fists, and laser-like ground strokes, Collins dismantled her opponent in the round of 16, surging through in straight sets. The win wasn't just another tick in her victory column. It was the ignition of something far more explosive, a highly anticipated clash with Coco Gauff. Tennis fans couldn't have asked for a more compelling narrative. On one side stood Collins, the fiery Floridian known for her raw power and unrelenting aggression, a veteran in mindset with a never-back-down spirit. On the other side loomed Gauff, the poised prodigy with a radiant smile and the weight of a generation on her shoulders, calmly rewriting the script of American tennis. But before the two could lock horns, Collins had to earn her right to the spotlight. And earn it she did with authority. The wind that lit the fire. Collins' match against Daria Kasatkina had all the makings of a tense strategic battle. Kasatkina, a crafty baseliner with angles that could make physicists jealous, had a game built on precision and patience. But Collins didn't come to play chess. She came to play war. From the very first rally, it was clear Collins had tapped into her fearless zone. She roared after every winner, painted the lines with punishing backhands, and kept charging the net as if daring Kasatkina to pass her. The Montreal crowd, known for their love of grit and flair, was mesmerized. After just an hour and 20 minutes, Collins wrapped up the match 6-3, 6-4. She didn't fall to her knees. She didn't throw her arms up in disbelief. She simply clenched her jaw, nodded once, and marched off the court. For her, the job wasn't done. "I know what this means." In her post-match interview, Danielle's voice was calm but firm. "I know what this means," she said, eyes gleaming under her visor. "Everyone's been watching Coco. She's the future of tennis. But I'm here to show I still have something to say." The tennis world listened. Collins wasn't just making noise. She was crafting a statement. Since announcing 2024 as her final season on tour, she's been on a mission of finality. Every match played with urgency. Every win soaked in meaning. Retirement on the horizon gave her clarity, not caution. Now, with Gauff in her path, Collins has her ultimate chance to leave a dent before the curtain call. Gauff waits, calm, collected, ready. On the other side of the draw, Coco Gauff had breezed through her match with characteristic calm. Despite being only 20, Gauff has become the face of American tennis. Her game has matured, her serve more venomous, her defense tighter, her forehand more dependable under pressure. She knew a showdown with Collins was likely, and she welcomed it. In her press conference, Gauff smiled when asked about the potential match. "Danielle's a fighter. I've looked up to her for how fiercely she competes. But when we're on court, it's business." Business, indeed. The contrast between the two couldn't be starker. Gauff's presence is composed, analytical, and media-savvy. Collins, in contrast, is all edge, raw emotion, and unapologetic competitiveness. Fire meets ice. Youth faces experience. Control challenges chaos. The tension was electric before they even stepped on court. Montreal, the stage of colliding forces. Montreal has long been the site of great tennis duels. From Serena's battles to Sharapova's grit, the Canadian Open has hosted legends. Now, it was ready for another epic. Tickets sold out within hours. Fans painted their faces, wore Team Coco shirts, while others brought signs that read, "Last Dance for Collins." Social media was ablaze with predictions, highlight reels, and fan-made graphics of the two warriors. Commentators called it a match of old school versus new school, while former players warned not to underestimate Collins' desire. After all, there's nothing more dangerous than a player with nothing to lose and everything to prove. The warm-up, glances, and game plans. On match day, the court buzzed long before the first ball was struck. Gauff and Collins practiced on adjacent courts, occasionally glancing at each other through the chain fence, sizing each other up like boxers before a title fight. Gauff, always meticulous, hit with her team in tight formation. Collins, hitting solo with just her coach, drilled ground strokes with venom, letting out the occasional "let's go" after winners. They knew each other's games. They'd practiced before, even sparred at team events. But this was different. This was a duel under lights, with legacy and momentum at stake. The match ahead, what's at stake? For Gauff, the match is a chance to assert her dominance on hard courts ahead of the U.S. Open. A win over Collins would not just move her deeper into the draw. It would cement her status as America's #1 without question. For Collins, it's about defiance. It's about reminding the world that her name belongs alongside the elite, that she wasn't just a brief comet across tennis skies, but a force to be remembered, even after retirement. It's not about going quietly, Collins had said. It's about going out with flames. Prediction or poetry? Who will win? The analysts are split. Gauff's movement and counterpunching could absorb Collins' firepower. But if Collins catches fire early, she could throw Gauff off rhythm, rush her, and dictate the rallies. It all comes down to margins. Who handles the pressure better? Who takes their chances when they arise? But beyond the XS and OS, there's something deeply poetic about this encounter. It's one player at the peak of her journey, still climbing, and another standing tall for one last act. It's a generational handshake, a passing of the torch, or perhaps a reminder that the torchbearer must earn it the hard way. A clash the sport deserves. As fans poured into the stands and television crews captured every minute, the Collins-Gauff showdown was no longer just a match. It was a moment in tennis history, one where emotions, narratives, and pure skill converged. A tale of two women walking different roads, crossing paths under the Canadian sun.